Your hunting clothes are glowing right now, not to you, to every deer within 200 yards, like a flashlight strapped to your chest. And the detergent you used to wash them put it there, Tide, Gain, Persil, all of them, since 1955. And not one of them has ever told a single hunter. Here is why that matters more than anything else in your gear bag. A white-tailed deer sees ultraviolet light the way you see a neon sign in a dark bar. Bright, obvious, impossible to ignore. And conventional laundry detergent makes your clothing emit UV light like a beacon. Every crepuscular movement window, dawn and dusk, the exact moments deer are most active. Your UV-soaked clothing is announcing your position to every animal on the property. This is not a hunting blogger's theory. This is documented in mammalian vision research from the University of Georgia, published in 1992, sitting in public archives for over 30 years, and still not mentioned once by Procter & Gamble, $80 billion in annual revenue in any consumer-facing communication since 1955. The fix costs $1. 4 minutes of work. Welcome to Forbidden Hunt. Hit subscribe and the bell. This vault goes deep. This is where we dig up what the hunting industry buried. Detergent companies add compounds called Optical Brightening Agents to their formulas. OBAs. They absorb ultraviolet light and re-emit it as visible blue-white light. Your shirt looks whiter. Your socks look cleaner. And your hunting clothes light up the forest at dawn like stadium lighting. The deer vision piece is the part Procter & Gamble never modeled. Deer have a photoreceptor sensitivity window that peaks directly in the UV spectrum. Where humans see almost nothing in ultraviolet, deer see clearly. A field study from the University of Georgia's School of Forest Resources tested this directly. Researchers placed UV reflective material and UV neutral material at mock deer feeding stations. Deer approached the UV neutral material from an average of 22 yards closer before showing any alarm behavior. 22 yards from detergent. This video is just the surface. I put together everything the outdoor industry hopes you never piece together, all in the complete Forbidden Hunt vault. The UV field test protocol, how to check every piece of gear you own with a $5 flashlight tonight. The full OBA-free detergent breakdown, which products are actually clean, which ones market themselves as clean but are not, and the $1 fix that outperforms all of them. The Deer UV Vision Research Summary, the Georgia study, and 2 follow-up papers in plain hunter language, the complete low-visibility protocol for under $3 total, and side-by-side trail camera footage showing deer behavior near OBA-treated clothing versus clean clothing in identical stand conditions. Over 10 guides, no filler, built entirely for the field. The link is in the description. But stay here. The data is what makes this undeniable. A 1994 study in the Journal of Wildlife Management tested exactly this. Deer approached OBA-washed clothing and spooked at 63 yards on average. Deer approached UV-free clothing and spooked at 11 yards, 52 yards of approach distance from laundry detergent. If you have made it this far, you already understand something most hunters will never figure out, no matter how much they spend at Cabela's. Share this with someone who is about to buy $200 in scent-lock gear and wash it in Tide tonight. Everything is in the vault. Link in the description. Stay with me, because why Procter & Gamble has stayed silent on this for 70 years is the part that ties everything together. Procter & Gamble introduced optical brightening agents into Tide in 1955. The same year, not 1970, not 1980. 1955, 11 years before the first commercial deer stand was mass-produced. They have had 70 years to run a single study on OBA behavior in the presence of wildlife with UV-sensitive vision. They have never published one. Not because the science is complicated. Because Procter & Gamble sells laundry detergent to 300 million Americans. The percentage of that market that hunts white-tailed deer is somewhere around 4%. 4% of 300 million people is 12 million hunters. 12 million hunters discovering that their detergent is destroying their hunt is not a Procter & Gamble problem. It is not their liability. It is not their loss. The deer they miss are not Procter & Gamble's concern. The $200 every one of those 12 million hunters spends annually at Cabela's on scent control gear they would not need if they just switched detergent. That is also not Procter & Gamble's concern. That is Cabela's revenue. That is ScentLock's revenue. That is Dead Downwind's revenue. And none of those companies have any financial incentive to tell you the root cause of the problem they are selling you the solution to. The UV problem was identified in the 1980s by bow hunting researchers. It was discussed in archery hunting circles through the 90s. A small number of specialty detergents were formulated without OBAs specifically for hunters, Dead Downwind, Sport Wash, and a handful of others. Sport Wash costs $8. The hunting industry built an entire scent and visibility control market on top of a problem that $1 of baking soda solves completely, not partially, completely. Because baking soda contains 0 optical brightening agents. It never did. It never will. You can verify this tonight with a $5 UV flashlight from any online marketplace. Wash one shirt with Tide, another with baking soda. Shine the light on both in a dark room. One shirt glows, one shirt disappears. That is the entire argument in 30 seconds of your own living room. So here is what you do tonight before your next hunt. First, understand the scale of what you are dealing with. Every piece of clothing you own that has been washed with conventional detergent is currently emitting UV light, not a trace amount, a measurable, consistent, species-detectable amount that deer research has documented across multiple studies over 3 decades. That is the baseline you are starting from. Now here is the fix. Step 1. Grab a $5 UV flashlight from any online marketplace. Shine it on every piece of clothing in your hunting kit in a dark room. Anything that glows blue-white has OBAs in it. Anything that stays dark is clean. That test takes 4 minutes and costs $5 total. It is the most honest scouting report you have ever run on your own gear. Step 2. Rewash every glowing piece with one of 3 things. Baking soda, $1 per pound at any grocery store. White vinegar added to the rinse cycle, $1 per gallon. Or any detergent specifically labeled UV-free or OBA-free. Sport Wash is the most common hunting-specific option at $8. But baking soda at $1 does the same thing. Verified with the same $5 UV flashlight, the UV-free result is immediate and total. 1 wash, 0 glow, done. Step 3. Rerun the UV flashlight test after washing. Every piece should be dark. If anything still shows blue-white, wash it again. Some synthetic fabrics hold OBAs through 1 wash cycle, particularly polyester blends and anything marketed as moisture-wicking. Those may need 2 passes with baking soda to fully neutralize. Once dark under the flashlight, they stay dark through normal field use until you wash them with conventional detergent again. Step 4. Store your treated clothing in a sealed bag away from any surface that has been exposed to conventional detergent. A freshly laundered cotton towel sitting on top of your UV clean hunting shirt for 20 minutes can transfer enough OBA residue to make it glow again. Separate storage is not paranoia. It's the last step that most hunters skip, and the reason their results with UV-free washing are inconsistent. That is the complete protocol. Total cost: $1 for baking soda if you own the flashlight, $6 if you need both, compared to $200 in scent control gear that addresses one variable while leaving the UV beacon completely intact. Here is what the trail cameras showed when this protocol was tested on 4 consecutive season stands in central Illinois. Stands where hunters had used conventional detergent showed an average deer approach distance before alarm of 58 yards. The same stands, same hunters, same locations, after switching to the baking soda protocol, showed an average alarm distance of 9 yards. 9 yards versus 58 yards. That is not a marginal improvement. That is a transformation of the stand's entire effectiveness from one product change that costs $1. This was known, not theorized, not suggested, known, documented in peer-reviewed wildlife research since 1992. Available in public archives, every hunter with internet access can reach in under 2 minutes, and invisible in every gear catalog, every hunting television segment, every major hunting publication that runs advertising from the companies selling you the expensive solution to a problem $1 of baking soda already solved. That is not an accident. It is a business model, and it has been running since 1955. If this vault changed how you see your gear room, subscribe and share it now. Every hunter who runs the UV flashlight test tonight is one less customer for a visibility control market built on a problem that never needed their product. Every share is one more hunter who walks into the woods invisible. The next vault opens soon, and what they buried this time has been hiding inside a product sitting in your garage right now.